This is Steve Martin, Masterclass, Lesson 17. Now this lesson goes over story techniques. Story techniques, of course, are everything. Your story is what drives everything, be it a YouTube video, a play, a novel, a movie, TV show, you name it, it's story driven. If it's not story driven, might not be that good. I mean, it's bold enough to say, and it's important enough to say that if you don't have a good story, you might just not have a good piece. It's pretty simple. If you can look, it doesn't matter how you shoot, doesn't matter how fancy your camera is, doesn't matter how handsome the people are. You know, you're not getting that here, but handsome people on screen or whatever, doesn't matter. This is story good. It's a story that I could tell you and you'd be captivated. When I'm trying to tell a story, I usually just grab all my points, put them in an order that I like, that I think will work, and then fill in the blanks. Steve Martin sort of talks like that about his process. You make an outline and then flesh in the pieces. You have a beginning, a middle, and an end. That's key. Where should I go next? When you're doing a story, sometimes you don't know how it's going to go. Sometimes you just have to figure it out as you go along. That's what I do, for better or worse, but I do try to figure out, okay, it's here, now where do I need to go? Write freely and connect the dots. I don't write, I just shoot video, so that's what I do. Shooting the video is my first draft, taking all the components and doing them in the edit's my second draft, and sometimes I'll do a third draft. If I know that the content is good and I just have to shape it, then that's where the multiple drafts come in. Especially if I'm working on something that's really large, I'll just do it in pieces. But it's sort of like writing a story, but it's just completely done digitally. Characters write the dialogue. I guess, I don't know. I've never written, I'm me, and that's it. If you were to meet me in person, this is what you're gonna get. Sorry. It's just gonna be me, and that's that. I've never written a character for any of the things that I've done, at least not yet. But once you get good enough with it, then the characters, you'll have a voice for the character, and the character you'll know that, okay, this is this character, and this character will probably say this. That's what it boils down to. Clarity. You can have all of these pieces in order. You can have all of these great things happening, but if it doesn't make sense, there's no point to it, what is the point then? Why bother? There are three things that I wrote down to end this chapter, which are subconscious, give it time, and don't worry about writer's block. I find that if I have a long edit, I'll just piece it together. I'll put all the components in what I think will be the order, and then put it on ice. If I have the luxury of sitting on it for 2, 3, 4 days, sometimes I don't because I make a video every day. I try to at least. I don't have that luxury, but sometimes I try to shoot as much as advanced as possible. So if I'm stuck on an idea, I can just put it to have like a shell and then just put it on ice and forget about it and let me work on it in the background. That's happened a lot, actually. Like in a shower, you'll be stuck in a point and you go take a shower. You're stuck in a point, you just go out and grab something to eat, or go to work. For my case, sometimes I'll get stuck on something and it's like, I'll just look at it in the morning, sleep on it. That's what it boils down to. I don't know. That's how I work too. If I have the luxury of time, sometimes I have too much time. For me, I can't have too much time too, because you'll rethink and rethink and rethink and rethink. Sometimes that works. For me, usually you're just polishing the turd. It doesn't really help. But writer's block. I have had writer's block here and there. I don't know what you would call it if you can't create a video. but I guess you could call it writer's block. Now, when I've had that, I find that the next thing I should do, if I can't figure out what the next video is going to be, I just turn the camera on and start talking, and I figure it out. And push comes to shove, I can point it out a window and get a time lapse, do something interesting with that. Just always be creating. Once you get into a mode where you're always creating, it becomes harder to get into a rut because you'll have multiple paths out. That's my process though. I'll try to set up, for instance, this week, I try to set up 5 videos. I have an idea of what they're gonna be, and I've already put out one. It's on the day that I'm shooting, so Monday's done, Tuesday is done. I gotta work on Wednesday, I gotta work on Thursday, I gotta work on Friday. I already have ideas, I gotta flesh them out. I have enough time that I can actually, I have an idea of what I wanna do, so I'm almost ready to start putting those together, and I can always be thinking about the next week and always think about what would look cool on camera, what would be something that I want to see, or something along those lines. I've had writer's block quite a bit, and I found the only way to get out of it is go through it. Just get up and start filming something, and either that'll turn into something good, which is 50-50, or you'll go, oh, wait a second, I gotta go that way, and then you start doing something new that way. I don't know. It's kind of a hard process, but once you get the ball rolling, it's almost hard to stop. Which, I mean, that's the problem you want, not to have enough content, but to have too much. I guess for me, that's what helps. That was lesson 17. I'm on the masterclass.com. I'm enjoying it. I'm on 17 of 25. I'm working my way through these. I'm doing these, putting the videos up on the weekend. So I have a whole bunch of them. You want to go back and look, you can subscribe or hit the like button down below, and I appreciate it if you were to do that. If you want to leave some feedback, go for it. Actually, there was some good feedback last week, and I thank you for the person who did that. That was pretty cool. And if you have cool feedback, like go back to video 15. Go to video 15 and read the comment from a guy, and it was really good. It was an interesting observation into how that guy's mind works. If you have something like cool like that, leave it below. If you don't, just click on the next video. I don't care. Go away.